Good afternoon and welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium. I'm Bernie Birnbaum. I'll be doing the color commentary on the NESCAC quarterfinal that's going to go on this afternoon. But first, for those of you that experienced difficulty in viewing the men's quarterfinal that just transpired, we at JumboCast would like to sincerely apologize. We've had some technical difficulties that we believe are worked out, and we do not expect anything to go wrong with this stream. We have planned for weeks and weeks just for these games, and it goes to show that even the best plans can fail. If the problem that we think we were having is that too many people were tuning in and we were putting out too good quality video, and the server simply could not handle so many people trying to stream HD picture at once. So we're going to stream this broadcast in standard definition to play things safe. We apologize for any inconvenience, but we really want to do our best to make sure that we can bring you this game in its entirety. One thing that we did to prepare for this doubleheader was create an intro video. This was meant to air at the beginning of the men's basketball game. That never happened, and so we'll air it now. The men's basketball team has already lost to the Amherst Lord Jeffs, but this video may get you pumped regardless. Here you go.
It's been a tough winter at Tufts University. And on the court, things have been heating up. Today, at Cousins Gymnasium, the Tufts Jumbos look to get two big wins. For the first time since 2013, both Tufts basketball teams will host a playoff game. The excitement is building in Medford as the pretenders are separated from the champions. The top-seeded women take on Hamilton in a rematch of an overtime thriller. The men host Amherst as the NESCAC rivalry is renewed. The road to two championships begins here at Cousins. And it all starts now.
Welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium for the second game of today's men's-women's doubleheader in NESCAC tournament basketball. I'm Alex Dobian, here to do play-by-play for you this afternoon for today's contest between Tufts and Hamilton. Joining me is Bernie Birnbaum. How are you doing today, Bernie?
Well, it's been a bit frazzling, not going to lie, being on the tech crew for the first game that experienced issues, but looking forward to watching this game and being able to take it in stress-free.
Yeah, we're hoping for an exciting contest today. Tufts is coming into this ranked 4th in the country. They're the top seed in the NESCAC tournament. They'll be facing Hamilton, who at 12 and 11 have snuck into the tournament as the 8th seed despite a late season slide. Bernie, what can you tell us about our contest last time these two teams met when Tufts won in overtime by a 7-point margin?
Well, what the result plainly shows is that this is not your average 1 versus 8 matchup. Hamilton took the Jumbos to overtime, and that coming only after a late three-pointer to tie it by Josie Lee, as was mentioned in the video. And what the keys for the Jumbos are to contain the scoring of the main scorers for Hamilton, and they are Sam Graber and Lauren Getman. Graber's the highest scoring player in NESCAC, and Getman has had 16 points in 5 different games this season as well. If the Jumbos can shut down those 2 players, they should be in good shape. Now, conversely, for Hamilton to have a shot at this game, they're going to need Graber and Getman to step it up. In the first time they met, Graber had 27, Getman had 16, and that was key.
We're going to bring it over to the starting lineups as the players are about to be introduced before today's game. Start with Hamilton, the Continentals, who are coming here on the long bus ride from New York to Cousins Gymnasium this afternoon.
The sophomore guard from Morganville, New Jersey, number 3, Teresa Salou.
So that's Teresa Salou, the sophomore from Morganville, New Jersey. Key guard for them team. There's Caroline Bennett.
The sophomore forward from Darien, Connecticut, number 21, Katie Bushel.
And there's Kate Bushel from Connecticut.
A junior guard forward from Roseland, New Jersey, number 23, Samantha Graber.
And the star of the team, Samantha Graber.
Notably absent, as Gitman is introduced as well. Notably absent is the senior point guard, Adriana Pulford. She was injured last weekend and will not be able to make the start today.
And the field marshal of this Tufts team, Lauren Dillon, the freshman, starting at point guard position. She's joined by Emma Roberson, the other member of this Tufts backcourt. And the star outside shooter for Tufts, Hannah Foley. NESCAC's leading three-point shooter by percentage. There's Michaela North, sophomore, one of the 2 twin towers along with Haley Canner, who are going to make up this Tufts front court. 2 of the most dominant players in the NESCAC.
Well, the most interesting thing lineup-wise for the Jumbos is that Lauren Dillon is still the starting point guard. Coming into the season, Kelsey Moorhead, who had been is the senior who had been a starter since she was a freshman, was expected to obviously play the whole season, but she was injured during the road trip to Puerto Rico in December. She's dressed the past 3 games, but was never actually going to play last weekend. Last I heard, there was a chance she would see some action today, but nonetheless, Dillon is still the starter.
Either way, she makes an appearance today, should figure to be a key contributor off the bench. But Tufts has had, for sure, his fair share of success with Lauren Dillon at point guard. A couple of games ago against Colby, she managed to put down 13 points for the Jumbos.
In that game, she was the leading scorer, but contrast that with her performance against Hamilton, where neither her nor Roberson scored at all. In that game, 3 starters for the Jumbos combined for 60 points, and 2 combined for none. So this should be a very interesting game.
We go to the opening tip. It's not uncommon for Dillon to go scores, but still making a huge contribution to this Tufts team. As we go to the tip, Canner wins it and passes to Hannah Foley, and Dillon is going to get this offense set. North at the top of the key, so Foley and Canner can't get a tip on her pass. It's going to go out of bounds. Lauren Getman to inbound.
As a result of the technical difficulties we're having, we're unable to give you a live game clock, but we'll be sure to update you periodically.
Getman. Caroline Barrett resets the offense, takes the pick from Getman. It goes back to Getman. She's double teamed and loses the ball in traffic as Looked like Haley Canner got a tip on that one. Canner at the top of the key to Roberson. Michaela North straying out beyond the three-point line from her usual position inside. She fights for position. The ref is going to whistle. Looks like that is going to be on Lauren Getman.
That's her first, team first.
First foul of the game is going to result in a Tufts inbound from Hannah Foley. And Canner's got it under the basket for an easy lay-in. Hamilton's going to have a hard time contending with the length of these Jumbos players. It's out to Salud, who passes to Bushel. It's back to Salud. Getman drives, goes to the rim, and is blocked by Haley Canner. Canner's the NESCAC leader in blocks. So should figure to see a couple of more of those today. The shot goes up from Graber, hits the back of the rim and bounces out. Her opposite number, Hannah Foley, both wearing the fabled 23, like many great basketball players. Dylan drives, stops, finds Roberson in the corner, who also drives. Foley passes up the three, misses the long two, but Michaela North is there with the rebounds. Interesting fact about Hannah Foley, she's actually making more of her three-pointers than her two-point field goals this season. Inside to Bushel. Gonna bounce off the rim. And Dylan's gonna steam down court to find a cutting Michaela North, and it's an early 6-0 lead for the Tufts Jumbos. 2.5 minutes already played in this contest.
That was a shaky first possession, but the Jumbos have recovered since then as both sides open the game with a turnover.
Getman can't get the turnaround shot to fall.
Now the Jumbos have been winning the battles on the boards, forcing the Continentals to get down to the shot clock, and now it's 8-0 Jumbos.
Canner there with the open turnaround J.
So as always, Jumbos making the most of their height advantage, but especially so in the opening minutes is North getting some rebounds, and Canner and North both just rising over defenders for easy layups.
Looks like that was going to be a 30-second timeout called by Hamilton. They're going to look to reorganize, hopefully not let the game get away from them too early. And they're going to make a substitution, as Samantha Srinivasan is also going to head into this contest.
She's one of the best bench players for the Continentals. Even started a couple games when they needed her to.
Dealing with some vigorous defense there on Caroline Barrett, who's able to swing it around. Here's Salud. Drives back door. Finds Srinivasan. It's going to be a jump ball.
Hamilton ball.
Now, I'm not sure why Salud didn't put up a layup. North essentially stepped out of her way, but she was set on making a pass. She had an open path to the basket.
And Salud, not sure what happened there, but the shot, it was tipped, but the shot fell way short. Roberson's in the corner. Gets her own rebound. And Lauren Dillon is going to reset the Tufts offense. Canner back to Lauren Dillon. Roberson in the corner drives. Finds Dillon again. Tufts biding their time. Haley Canner in the corner. Three doesn't go. Canner is making 36% of her three-pointers this year, which is fairly good for a player of her size. You don't usually see some of the larger centers and forwards, straying too far from the basket, but Canner manages to do it with aplomb, although not on that shot.
Well, it just adds another aspect. She becomes even more impossible to guard.
After a couple of pivots, Canner couldn't get the layup to go.
About a minute and a half with the ball, and the Jumbos don't come away with any points, but did show their prowess on the boards. And just to give you a sense.
Verified Saloon. Emma Roberson has the steal. She's going to take it coast to coast for the layup. Nobody was going to catch her.
And that ends her scoring drought against this team.
Looks like Saloon is sort of asking her just slow to get back on defense. Unable to catch her. Here's Graber. She's fouled as she goes toward the basket. Unable to slice underneath Canner and North.
Sam Graber is at the line, shooting 2.
Hamilton are going to look to their leading scorer to find the basket. That's going to make it 10-1 with 5 minutes played so far. We're at 14 minutes and 59 seconds to go.
Just to give you a sense of how prolific Graber is, as she sinks a second as well. She's a junior and already just 31 away from 1,000. Baptista found on the full court pass for an easy lay-in. So
that's her first basket of the game as she and Josie Lee both checked in there between possessions.
Lee, of course, had the heroics for the Jumbos. Under 10 seconds remaining, nailed the 3 to send the game to overtime.
Both are really key contributors to this Tufts team. Somehow, that pass was able to find Riley Mainville, but Michaela North's outstretched hand was able to deflect that one away from the basket. Josie Lee with an open three-pointer. It's golden. 15-2.
And North drew 3 defenders. She's been in on that play early in the game, getting layups under the basket. And the defense didn't want to see that happen again. Instead, Lee was wide open.
And the runner from Caroline Barrett is going to result in Hamilton's first field goal of this contest. It's going to make it 15-4. Bit of a slow start for the Continentals. Dillon with the drive, and she gets the lay-in.
So the two players that had not scored against Hamilton all season have 2 points apiece now. And I don't think basketball players are particularly superstitious folk, but that's got to feel good.
Well, if you're interested in superstitious, you should probably check out some of our baseball contests coming on later this season.
Well, we're still working out the details there, but in terms of this game, when these two teams faced each other in the regular season, the largest lead for either team, and it went back and forth in the first half, was Hamilton. They had a 7-point lead. Now the Jumbos have a 13-point lead, and while that's certainly not insurmountable, it's a very different caliber of game. Not caliber, it's a different kind of game we're seeing. This has not been back and forth. This has been domination from the outset.
Definitely seeing Tufts living up to their record. They're currently ranked 4th in the country, kicking it into another gear, getting off to a fast start today.
Well, there's no doubt a sense of wanting to show that they can beat this team. They didn't get lucky when they got to overtime. They deserved that game. And Hamilton, actually the team that has scored the most points against Tufts all season. In that game, which was the only game that the Jumbos have played which went to overtime, the Continentals scored 66 points. Jumbos have the best scoring defense in the country, give up just over 46 points per game. Scoring from Graber and Getman is going to need to pick up.
Well, there's Graber with the ball now, who finds Garrett to Riley Mainville. Barrett taking on Dillon. Gets it to Graber. Shot clock is already winding down. Srinivasan in the corner, drives back door, can't get it to fall. It's going to be a rebound from Michaela North. The cross-court pass finds an open Josie Lee. And just as Melissa Baptista was hoping to receive that one, she was bumped from behind. Looked like that was going to be Rachel Freedy.
No foul called. And since Foley was the last one to touch it, Continentals will get possession.
Barrett to Graber. Tufts defense playing tough against the Hamilton team. They're not really able to penetrate yet. Graber's going to go for the outside shot that's going to clank off the rim. 12.5 minutes remaining as Lauren Dillon is going to reset the offense from the left wing. Finds Lee in the corner, who gets it to Hannah Foley, and the NESCAC's leading three-point shooter unable to connect on that one, but Josie Lee with the hustle play to get the ball. There's a bit of a scrum going, and it's going to wind up in the hands of Lauren Dillon after all, so we'll get another Tufts possession. That time Baptista was fouled as she went up for the shot. She's going to go to the line, it looks like.
I'm quite surprised there was no jump ball called there, and most of the NESCAC women's basketball we've seen, the officials are very quick to call jump ball, perhaps unnecessarily. That was a case where a lot of damage could have been done.
Correction, that was they're going to call that not a shooting foul.
A foul in active passing, I guess.
Dillon finds Baptista, who gets the open three. It doesn't go.
Well, just under 12 minutes remain in the first half. Jumbos have a 17-4 lead. The Continentals are just looking for opportunities.
Salute open for the cross-court pass. She, in turn, dishes at cross-court. The shot from Frady isn't going to fall. Tufts is going to get it back for another possession. Canner, ball fakes, drives. The hook doesn't go, and there's a bit of a collision between Emma Roberson and Lauren Getman there. Graber cross court to Getman. The freshman finds Graber again. Her shot doesn't go. Some strenuous defense though. The full court press is going to result in Hamilton keeping possession.
There was a golden opportunity for the Continentals. They could not follow through on. There's 2-on-1.
A nice dish in the low post from Graber, finds Getman, but the 5-footer isn't going to make it. And Haley Canner with another basket to make it 19-4. As this game nears the halfway point of the first half.
Cousins is surprisingly sparse this afternoon. A lot of the crowd that was here for the men's game were away fans, and they have not been replaced by as many Continental fans.
It's a bit of a long drive from central New York to Somerville. Amherst is a little closer, so they might have benefited from a little away support there as the shot clock expires on the Continental team.
Well, for the first time all year, Kelsey Moorhead is taking the floor for the Tufts Jumbos, and the fans in attendance know just how much this means, not only to her, but to the team that she's captained all season and been such a huge part of for the past 4 years. And it's good to see that she'll get some playing time before she graduates.
Meaningful game for the Jumbos team as Michaela North is going to try to make this. They're going to also call this one not in the act of shooting. So Josie Lee to inbound. A whistle is called.
Number 52, Haley Canner. That's her second.
Canner's going to be whistled for the foul off the ball. Barrett Salud swinging it around to Kate Bushel in the corner. And she's going to be whistled for a travel.
Tufts is a team that takes advantage of teams' mistakes. Back-to-back possessions, shot clock violation, and a travel.
Jumbos are renowned for their intelligence. They make smart passes. They turn the ball over fewer than any other team in the NESCAC, and they have the highest assist to turnover ratio, so you can tell they're making smart passes. Does not result in a
back and forth
shot
now
that time, but
with unforced errors.
Rachel Freedy taking the ball down the court for the Continentals. Moorhead with a swipe that doesn't result in a steal. Instead, it's going to be played into Graber. And she's going to be fouled after a bit of an awkward collision there with Emma Roberson.
Some of the fans thought it could have been an offensive foul, but they're plainly wrong. It can be close sometimes, not that time.
Views of the men in the zebra shirts are the only ones whose opinions matter. So,
Riley Mainville returns to the Hamilton lineup, replacing.
Riley Mainville is going to check into the game.
Yeah, for one of the first times this season, the height advantage is not always going to go to the Jumbos. Mainville is listed at 6'4", 2 inches taller than North and Canner. In person, she is not as imposing as you'd assume someone that is 6 foot and 4 inches tall would be. But the Continentals certainly hope that she'll be able to neutralize some of the height advantage that the Jumbos typically have.
So after the whistle there on Hamilton, it's going to remain a Tufts possession. Mikhail Northheis at the top of the key, finds Foley. Roberson, air ball's there, but Kelsey Moorhead able to swipe the ball from Salud, who had chased down the rebound. And that's going to be another Tufts field goal.
Very physical play for Moorhead, who's wearing a very clunky brace. And in that possession, I was more worried for the structural integrity of her knee than anything else.
Salud there with the errant pass is going to make it a Tufts possession, but we're going to go into a timeout now.
It looks early on like the Jumbos are not going to let history repeat itself. Jumbos, for the third straight time, are the first seed in the NESCAC tournament. Last season went on to win the championship. A blowout against Amherst in the final. The year before that, however, they were also the 1 seed and lost in the opening round. And it doesn't look like that is in the cards this afternoon. Hamilton, on the other hand, making just their second appearance in the NESCAC tournament, having only joined the conference 4 years ago.
And Foley is going to be whistled for traveling. So Hamilton is going to get the ball back.
And Hamilton certainly had a much easier go of it before they got to this conference.
Graber dribbles and launches an attempt from a couple of feet away. Can't find the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by Tufts. Baptista's ball fakes and shoots the three. That's just a tad long.
And it's ruled that the last touch is by Bushel.
Lauren Dillon is going to come in for Kelsey Moorhead.
So it seems like Coach Berube is going to use Moorhead as the backup point guard, a role that Michelle Wu has been filling in the interim, whereas Dylan will continue to get the lion's share of the minutes.
Baptista's shot doesn't go. Graber was there for the rebound. And Mainville
Jumbo ball.
is whistled for a travel. North to Baptista, who's there for the lay-in, draws the foul.
Mainville, despite having 4 inches on Baptista, struggled to defend her one-on-one. I think just about anyone would. She's shown this season that she can play really well off the bench. Per 40 minutes, she's averaging 32 points in conference play. And due to foul trouble and simply the talent that the Jumbos have in the starting lineup, she hasn't started more than 1 game this season.
Well, between Baptista and Lauren Dillon, this is a strong freshman class for the Jumbos, so they should be set for a bright future. As Bushell's layup is no good, and it looks like, I'm not sure if you can see this on the screen, but someone spilled what looks like a milkshake on the court. You can see the squeegee happening there. Not a common occurrence, but the referees want to ensure that no one slips and meets a dangerous chocolatey demise.
We're going to have a little bit of a delay of game, and some towels are retrieved from what's normally the nursing station. Of course, NESCAC forbids the selling or possession of any alcoholic beverages at all NESCAC tournament games. So that's why we have a chocolate shake on the floor. It's a little cold out to be drinking a milkshake, if you ask me.
I'm thinking that might have been a hot chocolate.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it all adds up. I could go for a hot chocolate. I can't blame the unlucky fan who spilled their drink. We're back underway now, though.
Well, if anything, those responsible for squeegeeing are going to get a little more action today. Inside-out game results in North finding Baptista. Roberson takes a 10-footer after a bit of a, I don't want to say a scuffle, a bit of a confusion there. And it's going to be out of bounds off of Emma Roberson.
Jumbos had multiple opportunities on that possession. A rare miss from North, who has the highest shooting percentage in NESCAC, over 58%. The Jumbos now Maura Folliard replaces Melissa Baptista.
Folliard not a regular player. She does see some action, but definitely is going to provide some more size as she contributes her first basket.
One thing that is often a struggle for teams that go up against Tufts is that every player can score, even off the bench, whereas teams like Hamilton have fantastic scorers. A basket for
that was Caroline Barrett. The drive over 3 closing Tufts defenders, so high degree of difficulty there, but she got nothing but net, so she's going to make it 24-8, and a quick response from Emma Roberson, who's having a big game today.
She wants to show that no points was a fluke. She wants to get up her average points per game against Hamilton.
Graber launches the 3.
Three-pointer, Samantha Graber.
That's going to be the first one of those for the Continentals.
And the first time they've managed to score in back-to-back possessions, and the first time they're in double digits as well.
And a quick response from Lauren Dillon, who also sinks a 20-footer. Lots of players appearing in the stat line for Tufts today. Dillon, Folliard, North, Canner, Roberson, Baptista, all scoring so far today. So with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left.
Roberson, that's her first, team fourth. Number 24, Lauren Getman, returns to the floor for Hamilton.
So for those of you who are missing our usual game clock that we have, if you look above the shot clock, you are able to see the game clock there in yellow. Caroline Barrett to inbound. Finds Graber, who exploits her height advantage over Josie Lee to find the hoop, but it's going to be called off
She
for traveling.
Well, it's been night and day, and perhaps it's the difference of home court. As in the first appearance, Hamilton scored more points than any other team has against the Jumbos, and so far, Hamilton is on pace to score the fewest points of any Jumbo opponent this season.
Folliard sets a pick for Lee, who passes to North. Her layup was no good, and it's tipped off a Hamilton player, so it's going to be Jumbo basketball with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. There's Folliard as Getman falls over, and we're going to get a whistle on Mainville, who is incredulous.
I don't blame her. There's no chance that she intended to foul. Any contact was probably incidental. And I'm not sure that Folliard, well, I guess she was trying to put up a shot, but is there really some extra points? If you believe in ball don't lie, I guess it was a foul. However, an iffy one at that.
Folliard going 50% on that trip to the line. 3.5 minutes left to the game. It's an 18-point contest already. That's more than double the largest lead that either team held when they're in their first contest.
2 points. Samantha Srinivasan.
And Srinivasan is going to convert to make it a 3-point play. As Teresa Salud is going to re-enter the game.
Salud returns to the floor for Hamilton.
Mainville in a bit of foul trouble.
Samantha Srinivasan is
going with a smaller lineup. She can't convert.
Well, in a game where every shot has been contested and well defended, you got to hit the ones that aren't, and those are the free throws.
Foley on the outside, finds Josie Lee. Back to Foley. Shot clock is in the single digits. She finds North, who cuts to the rim and drops it in.
That's what it looks like when the Tufts machine is functioning smoothly.
Getman inside to Graber, who's double teamed and is going to wind up with a Tufts possession. Foley streaks down the court. There's Dillon, and almost wrestled away by Salud there. And Maura Folliard with a nice jumper.
Contributions all around, and the Jumbos have already scored 33 points with 2 minutes to go, just about in the second. I want to remind you that we are going to have our JumboCast halftime show, and that if you have any thoughts about the games or our coverage, feel free to send us tweets. Alex and I will address them at halftime and discuss the game and what the future looks like for this Jumbo basketball team.
Folliard's pass for North was intercepted there by Graber, who went full Richard Sherman and just snatched it from right in front of her.
That last shot is evidence that nothing is going right for the Continentals. The ball swirled toilet bowl style and somehow rolled out.
Foley's shot was no good, and Josie Lee was fouled after corralling in the rebound. She's going to go to the line.
Hamilton fouls on number 23, Samantha Greger. That's her second. Team 7.
She converts, having paid attention to the fundamentals in practice.
Alex knows how much missed free throws pain me.
Would it be fair to characterize it as a pet peeve?
You know, that's a perfect description. I should lighten up. On average in the league, 70% is pretty much par. That's about what the Continentals shoot. And I'm no athlete myself. I can't pretend that I would do better. But there's no defense. You can practice that as many times as you want, and it'll be the same every time. Moorhead back on the floor for the Jumbos.
Well, we're not rooting for players to get fouled, but if we were, I would probably pick Hannah Foley, who converts 89% of her free throw attempts.
Well, fouls were crucial in the game earlier this season, as Continentals only shot 29% in the second half, shooting worse at 16.7 right now, but they stayed in the game by hitting 13 of 18 free throws. Jumbos are being much more judicious with fouling.
Kelsey Moorhead back in the game, launching a shot from 3.
And those are her first points of the year, and the fans love seeing her back in form.
They're heavily braced, and he's still able to provide enough support to launch some fantastic jump shots.
And after her first points of the year,
Tufts
her
fouls on
first
number
foul.
3, Kelsey Moorhead. That's her first. Team 7.
It's a day of milestones for Kelsey.
Well, usually these kinds of jokes and puns go over best on January 1st. But it's February and we have that opportunity. The Continentals have just eclipsed 13 points, getting their 14th. The fewest points the Jumbos allowed in the first half of a game was 13 points. The Continentals will not be saddled with that title.
They are the leading scoring defense in the country. And Moorhead, after some prolonged dribbling, finds Josie Lee, who finds it with a very nice dish, gets Michaela North, who just can't get the bucket to go, and they're going to go into the second half with a 23-point Tufts lead.
That was about to be one of the coolest things I've seen all day. The shot wouldn't go for North, but the Jumbos
would have been one for the highlight reels.
for sure. Unfortunately, our replay capability has been
Compromised.
exactly has not been compromised.
Oh.
So we will be able to show you that one again. Fortunately. Stay tuned. In just a few minutes, Alex and I will be back, this time in front of the camera, and we'll be able to address some of your tweets, comments, concerns, either about this game or the early game, and NESCAC action around the league. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay tuned. We should alternate on the tweet. Good afternoon and welcome to the JumboCast halftime show. I'm Bernie Birnbaum alongside Alex Dobian, and with the game with a score of 37-14 at halftime. We're going to take a break and look at some of the social media action that's been going on since the game started.
Well, we have our first tweet from KD_CoolKid12 who says, "Are the Jumbos winning this game or is Hamilton losing this game?"
You know, I have to say that the Jumbos are winning this game. The defense has been stifling. The Continentals have been getting down in the shot clock, just looking for opportunities, and every shot is contested. That said, they're shooting 3 for 18, that's 16%, and even the most contested of shots should fall with a little bit more frequency. But I think most of the credit should go to the Jumbos playing well rather than the Continentals not rising to the occasion.
I do want to point out, though, that Hamilton did get into a little bit of foul trouble during the first half, and Tufts was able to take advantage of that, converting most of their free throws. And
that has been a struggle for Hamilton. They've had 3 different players foul out multiple times this season, and that's not typical for NESCAC women's basketball.
See our next tweet. Also from KD_CoolKid12, who is revealing his identity as Tufts point guard, Lauren Dillon's brother. What do you think the strongest part of her game is?
Well, I'd say you're putting us on the spot, though we are used to family members tweeting during JumboCast. Well, it has to be her ball distribution, just simply because she's so good at organizing the defense and distributing the ball. And to be frank, shooting has been a weakness. Not scoring at all during the last game against Hamilton, and with that 113-point game last weekend really is the exception. She hasn't scored that many points at point guard, despite leading the offense wonderfully. She also is very pesky on defense, manages to always get a significant number of steals. So pretty much every part of her game is solid, and if I have one complaint, it would be that she should score more.
Well, if you're interested in more on Lauren Dillon, I don't know if you saw on the
I did see
Tufts
that.
Athletic Department featured her in their Jumbo Journey series. So there's a nice 4 or 5 minute interview with her talking about the team and life at Tufts, and so more on that if you're interested. And I think we may have another tweet coming through. Also, a very enthusiastic brother who says, "Do you think the last matchup with Hamilton that went to OT affected their motivation for this game?"
I believe that it did. Jumbos are not a team that are used to losing or even used to close games, and the fact that Hamilton put them back on their heels, Jumbos certainly want to prove that they're better than that, and this is a team that they can handle, and handle them they have.
It's definitely showing as they came out starting in 5th gear, pretty much went on a 10-0 run to start the game, so you can definitely see the fire coming through to start the first half for Tufts. And we have a bit of a... Oh, we have another tweet. What is the key to the Jumbos defense right now?
Well, I have to say I've seen a lot of Michaela North clogging the lane, and even though she's not in blocking every shot, she's broken up a significant number of passes, and even the passes that haven't gone her direction have been evading her. It's just simply impossible for the Continentals to get ball movement going with the Jumbos defense.
Well, you also have to point out Haley Canner, who is just a huge deterrent for anyone wanting to get remotely close to the rim. She uses those long arms to her advantage to block a lot of shots. So between the two of them, not many teams can match up with the Jumbos' interior presence.
We have one more, this one from Rich Birnbaum. Being too popular is among the better reasons to have technical difficulties. Glad to have you back for Game 2. Well, we're glad to be back. It was quite stressful to have our system, which we had prepared so thoroughly, go down completely, and we're glad to not have a repeat of that.
Yeah, we have to give major props to our director, Jake, for being able to work through all of the technical difficulties.
First for the
MJS underscore 100.
winner is
At Tufts JumboCast. Do either of you have a crush on Lauren Dillon?
Please come pick
I'm
up
not
your
sure
I
if
don't know her
that's-
personally, so
That's
I'm going to
true.
say no.
That said,
for the handmade
Kelsey Moorhead, though,
decorative trays.
There's
we're going to let that one go.
Okay.
Is Pat Dillon.
I think we might give some of our fans the wrong idea.
Yeah, no, we respond to the tweets that we get from those who tweet at us, and that's all we have to say about that.
Anyways, we
We have the second half stats, or the stats from the first half for you. We'll take a look at those. Now, the main number that stands out is the 16.7% field goal shooting from the Continentals, just 3 for 18. In addition, they had a number of free throws. And needless to say, that's going to need to pick up. Jumbo's more than doubling up the Continentals.
for the Continentals, they're going to really want to have Sam Graber shoot the ball a little better. She was 1 for 7 in the first half. Caroline Barrett was converting all of her shots. She went 2 for 2. Did miss a foul shot, but there is there's some hope for Hamilton if they're able to make some of those baskets fall.
Based on the looks on the faces of the rest of our crew, I think we probably have more tweets. Kitty Cool Kid pointing out that if you didn't tweet at us, we would asking if we'd have anything to talk about. Well, we always appreciate the opportunity to address what's on the minds of our fans. It hasn't been that exciting of a game, especially compared to the first half we saw last week against Bowdoin or against Colby. So I think it's fair to say we would have filled the time, but we definitely
We would have
appreciate
talked about
it.
something. I think the people here who are really interested in the game and are probably a little dismayed right now because we normally provide a little bit more in the way of analysis and previews for the second half. But we'll talk about whatever our social media people want us to talk about.
The other point guard now is getting mentioned in the tweet. How about the return of Moorhead? Hits a 3 in her first half of play. And how about those Jumbos? I have to say, I think that was the best moment of the first half. When Moorhead returned to the floor for the first time all season and then sank a 3 in what has become her signature style throughout her career. It's really good to have her back as a Tufts University student, and Jumbos will hope to rely on her not just this afternoon, but in any additional postseason games that they see.
Yeah, if you were here, you definitely felt the energy in the crowd the moment she stepped onto the floor. It definitely provided yet another boost, maybe not a needed one for the Tufts team, but it was a great moment, as you said, so we're looking for more of them.
And assuming we do not have another tweet, this has already been a record for a JumboCast halftime show. We'll give it a couple seconds, but the players have retaken the court, and we need to retake our positions in the broadcast booth, which we have momentarily left here at Cousins Gymnasium. That's a joke. There is no broadcast booth, as Alex, you of course know. But it's been a very exciting halftime show. We have one last tweet. She's back. Yes, not only are the fans in the gym excited for the return of Kelsey Moorhead, but so are the fans watching from home.
We got another tweet from MJS_100. How do you feel about quantitative easing in the Eurozone right now? I kind of want to talk about this, but I don't know if it's going to make for a great halftime show. Let's just say that you should plan your European vacation now because it's about to get a lot cheaper, and you should be happy about that.
That's true, with Greece getting an extension on their bailout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I should know more about this.
Yeah, that's all I know. I saw the headline. But yeah, we need to end this show. The second half is going to begin in just 1 minute. So it's been a pleasure having you. More of you than usual. And we'll be right back with some second half action. Jumbo's leading 37-14.
Enjoy the basketball. In action here at Cousins Gymnasium to start the second half. It's a bit unfair for Hamilton that Tufts dominated so much in the first half, and they're going to still get to keep the ball, as you see Haley Canner notching the first points of the second half.
The starting 5 back on the floor, as is typical to start the second half, and a quick turnover.
And Michaela North, who earlier stole the ball, able to find Lauren Dillon in the corner, doesn't get the three. Getman dribbles into traffic. Graber goes to the rim, able to get that one to fall underneath the outstretched arm of Haley Canner.
That was probably the first easy basket the Continentals have had all afternoon.
And Lauren Dillon just going to spot up for a three-pointer and convert.
She's exercising her demons for sure.
Caroline Barrett finds Lauren Getman. And it's a steal by Lauren Dillon. Going to take it coast to coast. Doesn't get the layup to fall. Heard footsteps there, I think, from Caroline Barrett, and was a little tentative.
The one stat we didn't get to at halftime, 8 different players for the Jumbos scored. No player in the first half scored more than 6. And they had built a 37-point total. The one player that took the floor and has yet to score for the Jumbos, you're not going to guess this, is Hannah Foley.
I don't know if you saw there, but Kate Bushel was unable to connect. Her pass went out of bounds, and it was Jumbo's ball, but Continentals are going to get the ball back, and they're going to have Rachel Freedy enter the game as well for Kate Bushel. So fresh possession for the Continentals. Teresa Salud. To Lauren Getman. Salud drives. Rebound falls into the hands of Canner. Michaela North finds a cutting Emma Roberson, who lost track of where the hoop was with that one. She, I think, was contacted by a Hamilton player.
It was a very quickly developing play, and Jumbos, I think, got a little ahead of themselves. Trying to score quickly.
Here's Rachel Freedy. Salud nearly lost her balance. It looked like she was falling out of bounds, and it's going to be a Hamilton timeout.
Hamilton, a 30-second timeout.
I'd like to take this opportunity to share some of the scores from around the league. And the only other, there's 2 women's basketball games that have finished already. Those both earlier, that's Amherst defeating Colby by a score of 62-40, and Williams defeating Connecticut College in a close one, 45-44. The other game going on, Bowdoin has a large lead on Middlebury at halftime. So far it does not look like many upsets are going to occur. That's the 4 home teams. Here's a replay from the end of the first half. And it's an absolutely chaotic sequence that did not result in any points, but as promised.
We also got more footage of that sweet Josie Lee dish that didn't result in a basket for the Jumbos, but we've got 17 and a half minutes to go. As Hamilton senior Rachel Freedy prepares for the inbound. She passes the rock to Getman, who finds Graber. And Canner just swallows up that shot with a big block. Dribbles to Lauren Dillon. to Michaela North.
Points, Michaela North.
The true North, strong and free. Finding the hoop.
Getman, who was guarding her, same numbered opponent, put her hands up but didn't do much else to try and stop her. It's not much you can do without fouling.
Salud was fouled there on the way to the basket. She's going to go to the charity stripe.
Emma Roberson, that's her second, team's first.
First foul shot's good. That'll make us and Hamilton coach Michelle Collins very happy. Tufts is going to get the ball back, and Salud playing some active defense. Foley cuts back door. Ball ends up in the hands of Emma Roberson. As well as Lauren Dillon gets it back to Roberson, who finds Canner, who from just in front of the foul line near the NESCAC level can't get it to go. Somehow Emma Roberson was able to get the ball despite the flurry of Continental players. And Michaela North has been eating her Wheaties for sure.
Well, just fantastic ball movement, not unimpeded. Jumbo's forced to make more passes than they would have liked, but managing to convert on all of them.
Out of bounds, Jumbo ball.
Ball is going to be out off of a Hamilton player. It'll be North to inbound as
Josie Lee and Melissa Baptista return to the floor for Tufts.
Coach Berube
Roberson and North.
has Baptista and Lee enter the game.
The Sonavasan returns for Hamilton, replacing Salud.
Hamilton opts for a rotation of their own of Samantha Srinivasan into the game.
The Continentals going to the full court press. That's something they did a decent amount in the first half as well. Something that down in a significant hole is fairly necessary.
Baptista to Canner. And the field marshal, Lauren Dillon, is going to get this offense going once again. Canner takes a couple of dribbles and launches a wayward shot. Lands in the gentle cradling hands of a Hamilton player. There's Grayer. That shot was off target. And the long pass to Hannah Foley gets it to Canner, but the athletic play from Rachel Freedy keeps the ball from getting into the hoop.
I'm very impressed by the effort and determination shown on that play. That play was a 3-on-1 done deal until Freddie just stepped in, and Jumbos will not come away with any points, and it's thanks to her.
Graver back to Freddie. Mainville sets a pick. The pass was to Caroline Barrett before the whistle blew.
That's her first foul, team's second.
Yeah, there are two players on the floor with first names for last names, Lauren Dillon and Rachel Freddie. Not sure if there's a record. There probably is.
There's Caroline Barrett to Riley Mainville. And Barrett's three is no good. Veterans of Tufts Wilderness Orientation will be well versed in the two first name song that happens anytime that occurs.
Well, we have a tweet from Berube1. Incredibly balanced Jumbo scoring attack in the first half. 8 players with 3 or more points. Who's going to break out in the second?
Canner with another block.
Well, if it's going to be anyone, I think you just said her name. I think it'll be Canner. As teams get worn down, the already impossible task of defending Canner is going to only grow. And, well, as she comes out of the game. So it's in my opinion, going to be Canner or North, one of the post players that is essentially indefensible.
To be fair, Hannah Foley has played a lot of time so far this game. Still hasn't gotten a number greater than 0 underneath points on the stat sheet. Offense has flowed a lot through her, but they haven't needed her outside shooting, so.
Tufts foul on number 24, Michaela North. That's her first. Team third.
Hamilton biding their time. Graber's going to get the inbound. Takes a couple of dribbles, launches it cross court. And Freddie is going to dribble into the waiting hands of Michaela North, and the ball's going to go out of bounds.
Moorhead still receiving applause every time she enters the game, and that's the impact she's had on this team and the respect the fans have for her.
One of the tri-captains of this Tufts team, along with fellow seniors Hannah Foley and Haley Canner. Moorhead being guarded by Freddie. Josie Lee drives with another spin move, as the shot clock was expiring, but she couldn't get the southpaw shot to go. That elicited a number of woes from the home crowd, impressed with her skills.
Well, I think these Jumbos fans have become spoiled. They turned out more last weekend for the regular season finale than they have for this playoff game. Like many Yankees fans or perhaps Red Sox fans of late, just assuming success, why even bother going to the quarterfinal? It seems that anyone with that thought process has been vindicated.
Well, most of the home support is not going to show up on your screen, as it's on the other side of the court, same side as the camera, so it's a little difficult to see from your vantage point. Roberson with the tray. Going to make it 49-18 as their clock rolls into the 12-minute mark.
That's just another example of the balanced scoring coming from all around. In and out for Getman.
Got an unlucky roll there from the rim. And Michaela North catches a beautiful pass with a nice spin around move, able to get the bucket.
There were flashes of Lob City there. She was not close enough or high enough to dunk, but that's what in my mind, that's what I thought was going to happen on that play. And Hamilton forced to take a timeout, down 51-18.
Well, we're at the point where this might be the least points scored against Tufts this season.
Well, the previous low was in the home opener against Hartwick. That was a 70 to 32 point game. It's 51-18 now. But just night and day between the two games now. Unfortunately, neither of us was in Clinton for the regular season meeting between these two teams. One wonders if perhaps the absence of point guard Adriana Pulford is a factor. Though Moorhead has only had a few minutes, perhaps her return has ignited something in the Jumbos. And as we've reiterated over and over, just the simple fact that this overmatched Continental team managed such success could be an inspiration for the Jumbos to come out with their A game.
Wow. Tufts definitely looking to, well, I don't even want to say avenge their loss. It was the closest they ever came to losing was in that overtime game, aside from their only loss this season versus Scranton. So
that was the
they
same
don't appreciate
trip
being taken to the wire.
Not at all. In terms of these two teams playing close games, the Jumbos have only played 3 games that were decided by 5 or less, including the overtime game. They're 3-0 in those. Continentals are 4-3 in close games
And the Hamilton inbound to salute is going to silence the Bruce Springsteen classic Born to Run that was playing over the PA.
For those of you at the game, if you were watching me, you would have seen me lip syncing to that one.
That's her third. Team fourth.
And Graber at the line. And Graber is the first Continental player in double figures.
Well, she's been the focus of their scoring all season. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, she is the NESCAC's leading scorer. And she's been successful so far from the line today.
Well, she's a third of the way from where she started in the game to the 1,000-point mark. The Continentals need her to get even closer.
North to Baptista. Sizes up Getman. Getman able to draw the charge there.
Offensive foul whistled on Tufts, number 33, Melissa Baptista. It's her third. Team fifth.
No fouls committed yet by the Continentals compared to 5 by the Jumbos. And what allowed the Continentals to stay in the game the regular season was free throw shooting. Continentals will probably be in the bonus very early in the half.
Baptista able to strip the ball from Graber. As Hannah Foley cuts, doesn't get a shot to fall. The long arms of Riley Mainfill able to scoop up that rebound.
I think the rims are worn out from the earlier game. It's not letting anything through.
Graber sinks another layup. I don't believe she's missed a foul shot so far this game, despite some unsteady shooting from the field.
6 for 6. And as a team, Hamilton has been very impressive from the line.
Baptista for 3. Unfriendly bounce from the rim.
The Jumbos have missed some shots recently, and wouldn't be surprised if there's a loss of focus. The emotion of Moorhead's return and the lead that they've built could be negatively impacting the Jumbos. Continentals have managed to find some opportunities on offense more than they did in the first half.
That was Graber to Getman, who gets the orange ball through the peach basket.
Haven't we been over this?
I believe we have. North was unable to get that one through the hoop there. And the Continentals keenly aware of how much time they have to make up, able to get a shot from Lauren Getman.
Well, Tufts has been stuck on 51 for about 3 minutes, and in that span, Continentals have gone on an 8-0 run. Still trailed by 25, which shows how big of a hole they're in. Jumbos need to regroup. They need to continue to score and continue to work on defense.
Well, this is the first time in a while in this game that Hamilton has had even half of the points of Tufts. So, a lot of ground to make up there.
Well, let me tell you, Hamilton did not come here to say, well, we got more than half. Hamilton came here to win. And no doubt that's what conversation going on in the huddle is, how can we score 25 more points than the Jumbos over the last 10 minutes of this game? And the key is going to have to be Graber's continued resurgence, Getman getting more opportunities, and solid ball distribution and looking for holes in the Tufts defense.
Tufts taking their time in the huddle. Tufts is preparing for the inbound. This looks very well to be the last game for Rachel Freddy in her Hamilton career. The only seniors who've seen action so far, as Maura Folliard re-entered the game for Tufts. Josie Lee launches a long three. The dish finds Getman, who's fouled. Went down a little abruptly after being sandwiched by Maura Folliard and Haley Canner.
Folliard did play a fairly significant role in bringing her down just then. It's a good call.
Lauren Getman is at the line shooting 2.
That one doesn't fall.
Here you can see the foul. And Continentals come into the game with a 12-11 record, just 3-7 in NESCAC, but that's more a reflection on NESCAC than it is Hamilton. It's a reversal of their final record last season when they went 11-12. But when you look, you say Freddie is the only senior, and Graber, who's nearly at the 1,000-point mark in her junior year. And there's a lot of potential for Hamilton to not only make their 3rd straight NESCAC tournament next year, but to really threaten beyond there.
Kenner couldn't find Folliard there, and it went out of bounds. And Kenner's shot was tipped. Wound up in the hands of Carolyn Barrett. After some fighting for the rebounds, was a huge block from Haley Canner.
Srinivasan knows there's nothing she could have done about that.
Haley Canner just went full Serge Ibaka right there. Slewed with the ball in the corner, guarded by Josie Lee. Goes back out to Barrett. Oh, Caroline, no.
Out of bounds, Hamilton ball.
Runs into the squeegee guy after her layup hit the underside of the backboard.
If not mistaken, I think that's Nick from my discrete math class.
Graber finds Getman. Immediately goes for the shot from downtown that doesn't go. And Arndell's speeding down the court.
Jumbo's trying to break up a 9-0 run from the Continentals.
Dillon to Michaela North. It gets back to Dillon via Canner. Almost an up and down there, but North couldn't handle that pass. And a show of strength there from Samantha Srinivasan, who had hooked Haley Canner's arm and attempting to grab that ball. And Hamilton, sorry, that was, not sure if you saw Tufts coach Carla Berube was incredulous.
The foul was called against Canner, and while it's an unusual call, Kenner's elbow was hooked around Srinivasan's elbow and not really touching any part of the ball. She was only impeding the player, and, well, you can't do that.
Srinivasan hit the first of her foul shots, and she will convert the second as well.
Samantha Srinivasan.
Well, if the Jumbos ever felt nervous about a 22-point game, it's now an 11-0 run for the Continentals.
Josie Lee to Michaela North, who gets it to Dillon while falling out of bounds, and Lauren Dillon hits the bomb from 3 points. There's Caroline Barrett biding her time for the Continentals. And Salute dishes, finds Graber, who's fouled. Jumbos are getting into some foul trouble.
Lauren Dillon, it's her second teammate.
And Dillon was the guilty party.
For Hamilton.
She's now the third player either team in double figures, though. Gerber notched her 14th.
Number
It's
33,
a
Rachel
12-3 run for Hamilton. It's been all about the Alexanders, wouldn't you say?
Is that what they're? I think they prefer Continentals.
That was a poor joke.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Not sure if our audience will appreciate the P. Diddy references, but Josie Lee with another nice no-look pass,
Jumbo ball.
but it was tipped off of, looks like Lauren Getman.
Continentals have not given up.
Hannah Foley takes the inbound. And she's fouled.
Fans are cheering probably because Foley will have the opportunity to score, which he has yet to do this evening. Also, perhaps cheering to show that the referees are capable of calling a foul on the Continentals.
Well, they were positively gleeful to see that call as Foley converts her first foul shot.
Emma Roberson returned to the Jumbos, replacing Dylan and Lee.
Moorhead's still getting applause just for being in the game.
2 points. Hannah Foley.
Sentimental group of Tufts fans in the building today.
And if I'm a Tufts fan, it's nice to simply have her back, but you need to start saving your applause for when she actually does something.
Which is not to imply that she has done nothing, because she did hit a huge three-pointer.
You're going to, clap your hands red. That's all. I'm concerned about their health.
Hamilton foul on number 44.
Well, that foul was on Samantha Srinivasan.
Team second.
So in a short span, we've gotten 2 foul calls on Hamilton after none for the first 14 minutes of this half. And Moorhead's 3.
That would be a good time for the home fans to applaud.
Applaud they are. Grady finds Graber. To the friendly roll from
2 points.
the rim.
Graber.
Kelsey Moorhead directing traffic. North gets it to Foley. And it's back to Moorhead. She's going to drive. Finds Canner for the dish. The rebound was taken by Graber.
And North, who actually took that shot, not to correct you, but has actually missed a lot more of those point-blank buckets than she typically does. She's shooting 50% on the afternoon. Believe it or not, is somewhat below her season average.
Number 12.
She
Michelle Wu enters for the
is
Jumbos,
leading the
replacing
NESCAC in field goal percentage.
Number 15, Carolyn Barrett
Normally
enters
shoots
for Hamilton,
58 from the field, so 50 is a little bit below her usual rate.
And now we're getting a look at the dual point guard setup with Wu into the game. Something that's definitely in Berube playbook, but not something we've seen that often since Moorhead began her absence.
Moorhead dribbles backdoor, and Emma Roberson is unable to get the rebound there. Photographer takes a couple of dribbles.
Baseline is a little bit more crowded than it usually is. There's typically just one photographer covering the game for the Daily.
enters the game for the Jumbos, replacing
This
North.
evening we have 2.
Hannah Artner is going to enter the game for the first time. So the
Artner.
senior will see some action.
Artner got the start last weekend on Senior Day. That was a great moment for her. She walked onto the team, and while she hasn't started a lot of games, has been a key contributor, and more so in that the beginning of the game against Bowdoin last weekend than at most points this season.
Big rejection there from Samantha Graber. Kelsey Moorhead, currently the smallest player on the court at 5'2", and it did show a little bit there. Sweetness from Haley Canner. It's a nice turnaround too.
Well, one thing that Dylan discussed in the interview you mentioned that you can see on the Tufts Athletics page is they asked her, why did you choose to play in Division III? And among other things, in Division III, you don't need that height advantage as a point guard. As Continentals get 2 back, Moorhead and Dylan are just can be star point guards at the Division III level, but would be overmatched size-wise Division I, regardless of talent, which is, well, I guess fortunate for us as fans and students at Division III schools that we get to see them play.
Moorhead has to juggle the ball a little bit as Haley Canner takes a 3. Unlike her counterpart, Michaela North, who has yet to take a 3-pointer this season. Canner does, with not, if not regularity, which happens sparingly.
Well, Graber has quietly built quite a night for herself. She's now at 21 points, 4 above her season average, 6 away from the 27 she totaled in the first meeting between these two teams, and 12 away from that 1,000-point mark. If she makes it, she'll become, believe it or not, the 4th player to reach the 1,000-point mark in the this gymnasium this academic season. Foley and Canner for the home team both reached 1,000 points, and last weekend in the game against Colby, one of the Colby players reached that milestone.
Michelle Wu at the point. A couple of new faces have entered the game for Tufts. That's Nicole Brooks you see on the ball now. And pass was from Jenny Musharoni. Jumbos narrowly avoid the shot clock violation. And making an appearance for Tufts is also Katie Hicks, the other player with the brace on their left knee.
Hicks has been injured for even longer than Moorhead has, and it's been one of the more tragic stories of Tufts Jumbo women's basketball. She was injured for almost the entirety of last season before getting injured in the first couple games this season, and she's not gotten the appreciation that the rest of that Moorhead got. But it's good to see her on the floor.
Srivastava made the first of her foul shots. Here to attempt the second. Finds the twine to make it a 22-point contest.
Greg Horn enters for the Continentals, replacing Getman.
Blue to Hicks. Finds Hannah Artner. Hicks with a shot. Rolls in and out. Michelle Wu there with a heads-up play to pick the ball off of, not sure which Hamilton player that was. Here's Hicks.
I believe I
Gardner takes the
did
foul.
misspeak. Hicks did appear in 9 games already this season. She just has not been able to get the minutes.
We're going to get a whistle for an off-the-ball foul.
Hamilton fouls on number 23, Samantha Graber.
That's on the star scorer, Samantha Graber. Brooks finds Michelle Wu. Gets a big hip check from Srinivasan. Musharoni's shot was no good. Ready finds Graber.
2 points.
Makes the
Samantha
two.
Graber.
The Continentals are making it a respectable stat line. This game has not really been in doubt as the Jumbos opened the game on a 17-4 run, including a 10-0 run.
Musharoni displaying some impressive handles as she shakes the defender. Brooks with the corner three, dagger.
Brooks is a fan favorite. She's well known for greeting each of the players as they come onto the court at the beginning of the game for introductions, and every time she gets the opportunity to score, the Cousins faithful here in the newly christened Blue Zone, always cheering for her.
Blue Zone, of course, named after a popular calzone.
We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that senior Rachel Freedy has left the game, and probably for the last time in a Continental uniform. Collins took the timeout to give the away fans the opportunity to stand and acknowledge her, and we'd like to do the same.
As Mainville makes a nice turnaround floater. You gotta wonder if Freddie's parents are in attendance. She's from Cohasset, so not too far. This is probably the closest away game for her folks.
On the last possession from the old to the new as Freedy left the game. Then Mainville scored. Mainville, the freshman, looks to be a key contributor to future Continental squads as they look to improve their stature in NESCAC and improve upon this quarterfinal appearance next season.
Handling the ball for Hamilton is Corinne Horde, who's checked into the game for her first appearance. So Rasha drives but hits the hardwood hard. And we're gonna get a foul called here.
Hamilton foul on number 15, Carolyn Barrett, her first.
It's on Caroline Barrett. A few Jumbo fans were irate at that call.
As Wu dribbles it out, the fans rise in unison. Even a few on the Hamilton sideline. The final score 64-43. The second game of the doubleheader goes a little bit more smoothly, not only for us at JumboCast, but for the hometown fans. So next weekend, the 1 seed Tufts Jumbos will host the semifinals, both semifinals followed by the final. The Jumbos will take on the lowest remaining seed, and barring a miraculous 23-point comeback by Middlebury against Bowdoin, that game's still in progress. Jumbos will take on Williams tomorrow on Saturday afternoon, and then the final will be on Sunday. JumboCast will not be carrying those games as NESCAC has a contract with a third party, the Northeast Sports Network, so we will be back, hopefully, for any NCAA games that the women's basketball team here makes, and if not, then we look forward to baseball season.
And just a little side note, we would also be carrying the neutral games, potentially, for the so that you'll be able to see all the action going on here at Cousins Gym. But
and one last note, as always, if you're at Cousins Gymnasium and you're a fan of our broadcast, stop by and say hi. We like communicating in person almost as much as we like seeing your tweets. And in person, we can give you some free pens and some free stickers that just came in. And yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Probably be able to provide a more full answer to your questions about quantitative easing in the Eurozone as well. So
Very true. Well, it's been a good one.
Yep.
64-43 final, Tufts over the Hamilton Continentals. And wonderful conclusion to our NESCAC men's and women's basketball coverage.
Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Well, for Bernie Birnbaum, I'm Alex Doby, and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And we'll see you in baseball season.
Hopefully earlier.